4 cups or 1 kg of cake wheat flour or all-purpose wheat flour. 2 flat teaspoons of salt. Mix flour and salt together and form a well. Now add in 400 milliliters of normal tap water, which is lukewarm water, little at a time, and form a dough. Bring the flour to the water and mix without pressing. Until all the water absorbs into the flour. Once it's all mixed together like this, we can now form the dough by pressing it down with your fist and lift and press and continue doing this until your dough is formed. This is the quickest and easiest way to form your dough. Now that the dough is formed, we are going to knead it for 2 to 3 minutes. Knead your dough by tearing it open with your fist and bring it back together. Again, tear it with your fist and bring it back together. Continue doing this for 2 to 3 minutes. Once dough is kneaded well, roll it out long like a cylinder. Cut dough in half. Roll out each half into longer cylinders. cut out each cylinder into 6 centimeters pieces. Mark out the first one and use it as a measurement to cut out the rest. Once pieces are cut, turn them into small rotis. Roll it out slightly so it gets round again like a cylinder. Pick it up and press it down. Do the same for all the pieces and press it down. Just roll it gently so you get the shape of the cylinder, and then press it down, and that's your small roti. These end pieces, you can just break them up into smaller pieces and add it onto your roti. Always work with dry flour on the table. Now apply dry flour on one side of the table and set all your small rotis on top of the dry flour. This will prevent the rotis from sticking on the table. And cover them with a dry cloth. Now we can roll out the small rotis into bigger rotis, working with one roti at a time and keeping the rest covered. So now apply some dry flour and press it down, turn it over, apply more dry flour and press it down, rolling it out slightly using your fingers. Add more dry flour on this side, and now we can roll it out. Always dust your rolling pin with some dry flour and always roll in a circular motion. But if you can't get your rotis round, that is fine. Now when you're rolling out your roti, roll out a plate size roti. Do not roll out your roti too small because you will have problems when you are separating them. So you can see this is more or less a plate size roti. Now apply dry flour on the table, on one side of the table, and set your big roti on top. Now set your next roti on top of the first roti. This way we will save a lot of space on the table. Now oil your rotis in layers of 6 using normal cooking oil. When oiling, you can use a brush or you can use your fingers. Make sure you oil well and feel for any dry spots. Make sure the ends are oiled well. And oil very gently. Do not press. Once the first stack is ready, you can set it on one side of the table. There is dry flour already on the table. So just set it there and keep it covered with a dry cloth. When you move your layered stacked roti, pick it up with your finger and your thumb and put all your fingers underneath and just pull it and set it on top of the dry flour and cover it with a dry cloth. Now we have 3 rotis left, so we'll make one layer of 3 rotis. Now that all of our rotis are oiled, we are now going to roll them out into thin sheets. Before we roll it out into a thin sheet, give your table a good clean. Some dry flour on the table. Set your layered roti on top. We can move this more this side so we get more space to roll out the layered roti. Now press the ends down like this. Now some dry flour on top. Gently rub it. Turn it over, always turn with all your fingers and your thumb. Lift and turn. Some more dry flour, gently rub it. Now we can start to roll. Roll out very gently and little at a time. Do not press your rolling pin. Very gently. and then turn it over. As you're turning it over, pick it up and turn. Again, pick it up and turn. So as it's rolling out, the rotis will set and it gets much more easier to roll. So now that the sheet is rolled out full, we are now going to shape it and cut them out into strips. Now cut off all the uneven edges. Now you can cut out any desired size strips, 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, or 8 centimeters. What I normally do is measure the length, the longer side of it, which is 36, and 36 divided by 6 centimeters, I will get 6 sets of strips. So I'm going to go with 6 centimeters and I'm going to mark out my markings on top first. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30 and 36. Again at the bottom, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30 and 36. So now I'm going to cut out my strips. When cutting, try and cut out your strips with your knife flat, so you get a nice clean cut, not a rugged cut, because that will give you a problem when you're separating. Do not run your knife like this. Try and press it down, give you a clean cut. And there you have it. 6 sets of 6 centimeters strips. Now I'm going to toast them in a preheated oven at 250 degrees Celsius. Now we can set them in the baking tray. Always fold it twice like that and pick it up onto your 4 fingers and then gently unfold it onto the tray. The 2 sets of strips that are left, you can apply dry flour on the table and set these strips one side. So you make space to roll out the next layered roti and keep this covered. Toast for 3 minutes on the first side, then turn it over, remove and turn it over, and toast for a further 20 seconds. After 3 minutes, turn and toast for a further 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, the pastry is now ready. We can now separate them. It's always best to separate whilst it's hot. And there you have it, guys. The most beautiful pastry. You can see how thin it is and how flexible it is. This pastry will give you the best samosas and absolutely crispy when fried. So now I'm going to separate the rest of the pastry, roll out the other layered rotis. Once you have separated them, keep it covered in a damp cloth. For storing, you can cling wrap them or put them in freezer bags in small amounts and store them for up to 3 months. Store around 25 strips at a time. When you need to use them, remove from the freezer and allow it to fully thaw out. Then put it in a microwave on normal settings and microwave for 2 to 3 minutes. It will be as good as the day you made them. This recipe will give you around 7 dozens of samosa pastry. It is a great recipe for festive occasions, functions, etc. You can visit my channel for many more samosa pastry videos, for samosa filling videos and various different folding techniques. The link to my channel will be in the description box below. So guys, please be sure to give this recipe a try. Until my next video, be safe and peace out.